and welcome to the Smash Bros Brawl Top 5 Supplementary. The 4 top 5 videos I did have done far better than I could ever have anticipated, and I always read the comments, so I thought I'd address some of the things that regularly get mentioned. If you haven't yet watched the Brawl Top 5 series, here are links to the 4 videos. Go ahead, check them out. Oh wait. Okay, now you're all caught up, I'm going to talk about things to do with characters, items, final smashes, and then a few other little bits. No one really had much to say about the stages video, so not got anything to address with that. But anyway, the first thing I want to discuss is something that got mentioned so often, I had to put up a message at the start of the best and worst characters video to shut people up about it, and that was the tier listing. Sure, some people just mentioned it was funny that a lot of my best characters are low tier and vice versa, which was fine, and yes, I probably should have called the video my top 5 favourite and least favourite characters, but seeing as I stated at the start of the video, in this one I'm counting down my 5 favourite and least favourite characters in Brawl. This isn't the characters I'm the most skilled with, but the ones that I just like to play as. I thought that would have been enough of a hint that the video had nothing to do with the tier listings. Maybe that's a video for another time. Now that's out of the way, I'm going to briefly talk about some of the characters people regularly bitch about not being in either of the lists. The first being Meta Knight, given how many people have bitched at me because he's top of the damn tier listing. He is a good character and I don't mind being him at all, even if I'm not especially good with him. Meta Knight's final smash isn't anything special, but that may be because he's pretty powerful normally, so giving him an amazing final smash would have been even more over the top. He may not be one of my favourite characters, but he's still a good one. Next is Toon Link. Link may be one of my favourite characters, but Toon Link just isn't quite the same. Sure, there are some things Toon Link has over Link, and I think Toon Link is higher in the tier listing than Link is, but to me, as an overall character, as much as I like Toon Link, regular Link suits me much more. Plus he can do this. That's so cool. One of the other characters a lot of people ask about is Pit, and yes, he is a decent character. If I was to do another top 5 characters video, Pit would be in it somewhere. He has everything you could want in a character. Good speed, good power, sweet weapons and funky moves. Well, except one. People who use this move over and over again should be punched. Maybe we need a list of the top 5 most annoying moves when spammed. Anyway, Pit's final smash may be a bit lacking, but it has its uses, so he's still a cool character. A few people have also informed me that pressing down during King DDD's jump slam move cancels it out, helping to prevent you falling to your doom. It does work and can be useful, but it hasn't helped his position on the list in the slightest. Next we have Pikachu. I liked him in Melee and I like him in Brawl. He has a few moves that can quickly build up your opponent's percentage and some good knockback moves. Granted, he's light and goes flying easily, but he can have goggles, so what the hell. His final smash is freaking sweet and pretty impressive to watch, especially with the way he yells out. But it is a tad difficult to control due to it pivoting round the point rather than turning in the given direction, but it's still funky and Pikachu is a fun character to play as. There's a theory that Pikachu in Brawl is the evolved Pichu from Melee, but maybe that's something for another time. The last one I'm going to talk about is Zelda, and she's a good one. I'm not especially good with her either, but she's an enjoyable character mainly because she can transform into Sheik. I tend to use Sheik for his speed to get my opponent's percentage up, and then use Zelda's higher knockback abilities to score the KO. It doesn't always work out, but it's the strategy I go with. Their final smashes are great, and the zooming in on the characters hit by it is a stroke of genius. Now we're heading into the item list, and I'm going to start off talking about the Smash Ball, as a number of people questioned why the Smash Ball wasn't at number 1. And what's this guy's problem? Sarcasm much? Hello! I stated right at the start of the video, Smash Balls are not included. So were some people not paying attention, or are they just thick as 2 short planks? Thankfully most people were paying attention, so it couldn't have been that subtle. There were a few other items that weren't on my list people had mentioned. The first one I'll bring up is the hammer, and yes, it is a decent weapon with its high power and knockback, but due to how much it limits your movements, especially with the jumping, your opponents can fairly easily get away on a lot of stages, making the hammer a waste of time. Same goes for the golden hammer, but at least it is more effective if you are able to put it to good use. If the head falls off, it does make a decent throwing weapon, so it can have bonus points for that. Next is the home run bat, and this would have been in the top 5 best list if it was the same as it was in Melee. While it is still amazing when you're able to hit someone with it, the charge time before the swing seemed to have been lengthened from Melee, so the chances of actually hitting someone are too low to be worth it, to the point I find lobbing it at people much more effective. On to the Bob-omb, which is a really good weapon that I have put to good use on several occasions. It's one of those weapons that is simple but effective, and is one of the items I will head for as much as possible when it appears. Not much else to say about it really, so on to the final item, which is actually something I have found out about Mr. Saturn. In the top 5 best and worst items video, I mentioned how, at least with the other items in this top 5 worst list, once you throw the item at someone, there's some sort of secondary effect, but with Mr. Saturn, there's nothing. But thanks to people commenting, it turns out he can break shields. Having tested it, while he doesn't automatically break the shield, he does massively reduce it, but seeing as the chances of that arising are so low, he may as well not be able to, so he can stay where he is on the list. Now we're on to the final smashes, and I'll start with the one I have been given the most flack for, Supersonic. So many people have said this should be number 1, and while I do agree it is a powerful final smash, I find it quite difficult to control due to how fast it is. Actually, a few people said Sonic should have been in the favourite characters list, and while he is an alright character, again, he's far too quick for my liking, and before anyone says I just need to practice more, I have been practicing, and while I am getting better, I still struggle with his speed, so I still wouldn't put him or his final smash in the top 5 lists. Though, he does do Jacob's Ladders, which is awesome. Bonus points for that. While most characters have unique final smashes, that all changed when it came to Fox, Falco and Wolf. Sure, there are slight differences in each one, but it would have been nice for them to have more unique final smashes, especially Falco, seeing as he even yells out,
"Personally, I prefer the egg."
So you'd expect him to come along in his R-Wing, but no, for some reason he still uses the Landmaster. It's a bit of a cop-out having 3 characters with the same final smash, but the smashes are worthwhile using. Sure, the terrain can get in the way and cause a few problems, but they're worthwhile using. There were 2 final smashes that a lot of people seemed surprised weren't in the worst list, one being Luigi's Negative Zone. I'll admit it's not a great final smash, but I wouldn't say it was one of the worst either. It has several effects to those caught in the zone, such as dizziness, uncontrollable taunting, falling asleep and reduced weight, so they fly further easier, as well as other things. Yes, it's easy to get away from, so maybe it's one of those high risk, high reward kind of abilities. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. The other one is the Ice Climber's Iceberg, and at the time of making the Final Smashes video, this would have been number 6. It's a giant ice mountain that damages everyone that touches it and can freeze them. The only reason this wasn't on the list was that on smaller stages it can be useful just like Jigglypuff's Puff-Up, but with Iceberg it could at least do some damage on larger stages rather than miss entirely. However, having used Iceberg a bit more while capturing footage for this, I admit that it probably should have been somewhere in the top 5 worst list. Olimar's final smash has been mentioned a few times too, and it's another one that's nothing special. Apparently it's impossible or near enough to dodge, so while they may not get KO'd by the returning ship, at least they'll take some damage. Also, I get a fair bit of flack about Olimar's position on my characters list, mainly because of his position on the tier listing. I don't play competitively, never have and probably never will, so again, the tier listing means nothing to me. I've used him a bit more since the characters video, and while I am getting better with him, his position on my list stays the same. While that's all the stuff from previous videos, there are 2 other things. Firstly, some people have mentioned my playstyle, and for these videos I had the level of the opponents very low just to make it easier to capture footage. For a better look at what I'm like, check out my online matches against YouTuber Super Silver. Also, check out his channel for another video that shows some of our other online matches. He does a lot of other stuff like Let's Plays, so while you're over there, you might as well check out some of those. Finally, I mentioned the possibility of doing a top 5 for the best and worst Pokeball and Assist Trophy helpers. As you can't adjust which Pokemon come out of the Pokeballs or what comes out of an Assist Trophy, capturing footage would be an absolute pain in the ass, so I would only do it if enough people requested it. A couple have requested it so far, but that's not enough for me to think about doing it. If 100 people requested it, then sure, absolutely, but 2, no. Another suggestion that has popped up a couple of times is my top 5 best and worst, or favourite and least favourite, subspace emissary stages. It's an interesting suggestion and I'll certainly consider it, but of course, the more requests it gets, the higher the probability that I'll do it, and the further I'll bump it up in priority. So that's all for now. Hope it's cleared up a few things and will reduce the amount I'm getting shouted at, but I highly doubt that. As always, if you have any comments, questions, requests or suggestions, leave a comment, PM me or even send me an email, judgmentreviews@btinternet.com. Thanks for watching, have a good one and see you next time.